Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Superhero Edition. Today, we are going to be previewing Thor Love and Thunder that's coming out at the time of recording next week on July 8th, 2022. Man, and we got the captain with us, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good today. Definitely a big update for superheroes today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. We're back here again, nice and quick. We got an MCU movie coming out, Thor Love and Thunder. We got Hemsworth in there as Thor, the debut of Natalie Portman as her version of Thor, Tessa Thompson. We got a whole bunch of people there. We got Christian Bale, Gore the God Butcher. Byron, man, what's the premise of this movie? What should we expect? What are things you are looking for?
So the premise of the movie, what I gather from the trailers that they've had, is that after Endgame, Thor is basically looking to find himself. In the trailer, you see him go from Fat Thor to Fit Thor again through all the training montages. I don't know when Natalie Portman comes into the movie, but you see like there's a big battle scene. And Mjolnir is coming towards Thor. He tries to grab it, but then it goes to Jane. So you see her donned as, I'm not sure what I think they're calling her Mighty Thor in this movie. I'm not sure.
It's Mighty Thor.
Okay, Mighty Thor in this movie. And he's surprised that it's Jane. So it looks like it's going to be a good movie. Definitely, like I said, probably mostly about finding himself again as the God of Thunder.
Awesome. For people who don't know how Mighty Thor came to be, which I don't know if they will do this in the MCU, they might do a little differently. Basically, Jane gets cancer. So then, like, Mjolnir is the only thing that's keeping her alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to go that route or do a different route. We don't know. Byron, this is also going to be the first time. Well, no, because it will still be this. I was going to say it's going to be the first time that this Phase 4 movie is based on an original 6 Avenger. But Black Widow was based, She was the first one, but it was more of a past movie. You see what's happened between after Civil War and Infinity War. This is an OG Avenger, current time. And I just want to ask you, Byron, Phase 4 has mostly been seen as legacy passing. Do you still, are you nervous that we might lose it? Thor might die?
I am nervous that Thor might die because you said, like you said, Phase 4, like the beginning has been about like passing on the legacy to future generations. We see Hawkeye passing on to Kate. Essentially, this movie, Thor will be passing on to Mighty Thor. And then when She-Hulk comes out, Hulk will be passing on to his cousin She-Hulk. I don't know if any of them will die because
Natasha to Elena.
Natasha to Elena.
Obviously, Tony and Peter.
Yeah.
And
so the only
Captain Falcon.
So the only one that has died out of the original 6 is Tony because he sacrificed himself to save the world. But the other ones that have passed on, and Natasha, Black Widow, because she, again, sacrificed herself to save the world. But out of those two, like, the ones that have passed on their legacy is still around somewhere.
Well, we assume Cap is dead, don't we? Didn't they confirm that in Winter Soldier, in Falcon Winter Soldier, that he's died of old age? Or is he still just sitting somewhere?
I think he's still just sitting somewhere. Because I think it's, like, right after Endgame that the events of Falcon and Winter Soldier take place.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they've confirmed that he's passed on yet. They might in the Captain America 4 movie, whenever that is supposed to come out. But right now, as far as I know, he's still alive. And at the end of Hawkeye is still alive as well.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been legacy passing. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, you got the villain, Christian Bale, Gore the God Butcher. His main motive is to kill all the gods.
Yes.
Which is a pretty lofty goal.
I think from the trailer, I know Zeus is in the movie. I feel like Zeus is like the first god we see him kill on screen, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I hope that he actually kills a good amount of them, because if like he says he's gonna all gods must die and he doesn't kill any, then what type of villain is that?
That's true. You can't call yourself the god butcher if you don't kill gods.
So we'll see with that. We also talked about Thor. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy, we don't know how much of a role they're going to play in this, but they're still in this movie. We don't know if they're going to be helping with this fight or they're going to leave Thor, because I think some point in the movie they're going to leave because they get a hit on 2012 Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's their main mission, to try and find her. So I don't know how they're going to be helping all like that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know they've teased this. I feel like this is a final. I hope it's not, but I feel like what they showed in the trailer, like with Gore fighting Valkyrie and like that black and white area, I feel like that's the final battle. And I don't think I've seen any of the Guardians in that final battle. But again, I could be wrong because trailers can be deceiving.
Yeah, because it looks like that final battle has Valkyrie and the two Thors in there. So we'll have to wait and see that. And then this movie, man, it's like it's already come quick, because we just watched Multiverse of Madness just a couple months ago. Now, boom, here you've shared. Kevin Feige is saying the next Avengers level threat is going to reveal itself in a couple months. We don't have that many spaces where to reveal that threat. The movie comes out next week. I don't think it's going to be in Miss Marvel. That would make no sense. I don't think it's going to be in She-Hulk.
But yeah, they're like the next big movie after Thor Love and Thunder is Black Panther 2. And I'm not sure if it will be revealed in that one either. So
it's like, do we get 2 credit scenes in this movie and he gets revealed in this one? Because if we're killing like a god butcher, because I think they're going to kill him, because I don't know if you can keep him alive, then someone else is like, you know what? I'm stepping in, and we get a reveal of a new bad guy, whoever the big bad is.
It could. I think I've seen Boss Logic post on Twitter, because I think he's already seen it, that there's 2 end credit scenes.
Yeah, they showed it in Australia already, because that's where
he's from.
Yeah.
So it could potentially be revealed in the end credit scenes, which will be wild.
I just wonder. I still am holding hope. I was talking about this with someone else. I still think the Celestials are coming for Judgment. I really do. Like you just don't show up to Earth and say, "Oh, we're gonna see," and then Judgment's coming. I think they're gonna send Galactus. I believe that's where I'm at. Unless we finally see Kang or something, or I don't know, man. Those are I think are the most options that make sense right now.
Yeah, because I know Kang is coming when Ant-Man and Wasp 3 comes. I think it's phase 4, like the tail end of phase 4. And also know that phase 4 ends with Fantastic Four. So if they want to do Galactus, that would make sense to reveal him in this movie because of the whole universe thing.
What would you want?
Because I know Ant-Man and Wasp comes out like the end of 2023. And they've teased him a Kang in the Loki TV series. So I feel like that's the direction they're going with the big bad. So I wouldn't mind Kang like showing up and doing stuff like between Loki and when he like finally reveals himself in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right. And then also just shout out to Chris Hemsworth, man. First of the original Avengers, have a 4th solo movie, 10 plus years in the role of Thor, man, has been really killing it. As Thor has brought some memorable moments in the MCU. And I mean, he said he'll play the character as long as they'll have him, and hopefully this ain't the last time.
Hopefully it's not. I would love to see him continue this since he wants to. I think between 2 and 3, he was kind of like, I might, hang it up. But like when they brought in Taika Waititi, who was a director, I think they like restored his passion for playing Thor.
Oh yeah, because he was able to have some more fun and all that jazz. And we'll see what Natalie does, because everyone, is like, oh, she left after the second movie. Now here she's back. She's about to have powers. And If-de-do. So we're going to find out how Mjolnir's been put back together.
That is the biggest mystery, I think, going into this movie. One, how Mjolnir got put back together after Hela destroyed it in the last movie, and then how Jane got to become Mighty Thor.
And who picked up the pieces? Like, who brought these to her house?
Right.
Like, they were often wherever. I think, was it Scotland?
Yes, Scotland.
Where Odin, like, was telling Loki and Thor that they got a sister. Which, yeah, we're just going to drop that bomb when I'm dying, but okay. But, man, also, it's kind of crazy, too, because we're talking about the villain who Christian Bale is playing. Obviously, this is his first superhero role since Batman, and the reporters, they've been asking him the questions. They're like, hey, would you come back? And then he said, I mean, I'd only come back if no one asked me to.
I think we all knew that. I know you've been saying that for years, that he didn't want to do another one because Chris Nolan wasn't directing it. I mean, I would love to see another Batman with Christian Bale if he wanted to do it and Chris Nolan came back. I'm down for it.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I was like, well, that officially kills him potentially being like the third Batman in the Flash movie, since we're supposed to have Keaton and Affleck in there because he's not directing that. But the only thing I would want to see from that is like a Batman Beyond type thing. I think that's what everyone wants to see. I feel like Nolan's approach to a Batman Beyond would be crazy.
Oh, I would love to see that.
But, they keep asking him. They keep asking him at these things. So we'll go from that. But not just the Thor in the movie, Jane Foster. Today,
before we go on to that one, I do have a question. Sure. Do you think this one, the Thor 4, will make $1 billion? Because I saw an interesting tweet earlier that during the pandemic, the only 2 movies that have made $1 billion have been Spider-Man No Way Home and the new Tom Cruise movie, Top Gun. And Doctor Strange was close. They made $950 million worldwide. Do you think Thor will be the next movie to make $1 billion?
Let me actually look at Doctor Strange's box office mojo.
Because when I looked it up on IMDb earlier, they said it only made like $950 million, but
only.
Right.
Only. That's the funny thing. Only. Yeah, so currently it's still a lot of money. I mean,
yeah,
$950 million. I don't know if it's already out on Disney Plus, and it's out on digital that you can buy, so it won't be making that much more. But I don't know, man, because it's like these movies are still making money. Like this week, a lot of movies made a lot of money, but now we're talking about that billion thing. But I think people have gotten way too comfortable on that $1 billion movie thing, because movies weren't making really $1 billion till like the superhero thing really took off. Like once, like, because Dark Knight was the first to $1 billion, and that was in 2008. And then you didn't have $1 billion superhero movie again until 2012 with The Dark Knight Rises and Avengers 1. And then they started Iron Man 3, Cap 3, the rest of the Avengers movies, Black Panther, Captain. Like, then they started hitting. So, I mean, I would safely say no. I think if Doctor Strange made $950, but here's the thing. I think Thor, not going to say it's going to be a worse movie than Doctor Strange. I think it'll be around like the 800s. The only reason I'm saying that is because Doctor Strange had so much freaking hype. Because when we thought of all the cameos that were going to be in it, Hugh Jackman's going to be in it. Oh, this, that. So people went to go see it. It was the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, we were like, oh my God, who's going to be in this movie? Because this one is, like Keedy said, it's just our universe, no one else. So I'd say around 800 something. It'll be the number 1 movie in the world for like the first weekend and all of July. So yeah, but
I could see that because Ragnarok, I think, made like $853 million. So I could see it being somewhere around there. But I'm excited to see it.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to see because I want these questions answered. How does Hammer get back? Like, what's the Guardians' involvement? Valkyrie is king over there, bringing her back to the fight. Do we get something crazy like post-credit scene 1? Disney Plus's Loki shows up.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Do we get something crazy like that?
Yeah, because this would be the only movie, if he's not in it, only movie that Loki hasn't been in.
Mm-hmm. Of a Thor movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that. But I think the movie will be successful. I mean, Marvel has been making their money on these movies. But even before going to the video game, which Jane Foster came out today, Marvel, they said we ain't done because Thor comes out this month and they got Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes. Comic-Con is back. MCU is back at Comic-Con. I'm so excited.
Last time they were there, they dropped some major heat. So what are they going to drop this year? I think it'll be more a second She-Hulk trailer. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
I'm thinking
Black Panther? Maybe
because Comic-Con is what, like end of July?
Maybe a little teaser.
I can see them doing a teaser because I think Black Panther 2 comes out in November. Let me check. Because that would be right around outside of Thor 4, then releasing the trailer like 90 days before the movie comes out.
That was wild.
That would be right around that time to release a teaser for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, ooh, they're gonna drop something. They're showing up here, or maybe we see a Blade thing. Who knows, man? I think they'll show some stuff. Also,
yeah, Black Panther 2 comes out November 11th of this year.
So they might drop something. And then now going back to the video game, Marvel's Avengers, following the movies recently, that's what they've been doing. Dropped Jane Foster Thor in the game, came out today. So Marvel's Avengers. Now we got 10 characters in that game?
I believe so. I think 10 if you're on PS4, I think.
Yeah, because you get Spider-Man.
If you're on Xbox, yeah.
So that's crazy in that in itself. Byron, what's going on in Miss Marvel? They're at episode 4 out of 6, right?
Yep, episode 4 comes out tomorrow at the time of recording. The first 3 episodes have been really good. I'm enjoying the show. I think Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan, has done an excellent job. Like, she embodies a character so well out during the show, even outside of the show, because she has said some stuff like that I've never really thought of. Like, she is the one who said that the MCU is not technically Earth 616 because it hasn't had House of M, hasn't had the X-Men yet, and the X-Men and House of M go together, which is like the Wanda story of no more mutants. Basically what Doctor Strange 2 was kind of about. So, I mean, it's a very good point. Would explain why she doesn't have her stretching ability because she's not an human like she is in Earth 616. So she brings out some good points that I've, like I said, never thought of. And you can tell like she's read a lot of the Marvel comics.
Oh, yeah. She was a perfect casting for Kamala Khan.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect casting. I was going to say 4 out of 6. Are we going to see Captain Marvel show up?
We should, because Miss Marvel is in the next Captain Marvel movie, The Marvels, which is Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau from WandaVision.
Yep.
So she has to show up, because I'm thinking that bracelet has something to do with like cosmic energy, because when she puts it on, she gets like a cosmic embodiment when she activates her powers.
Could those bracelets potentially be related to the 10 rings that Shang-Chi has?
That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's plugging along. Marvel casting, man. Whoever's the casting director, they deserve so much money and more because they really hit on these people that they cast on these roles.
Yeah.
And then
I agree.
And then just shifting it off to DC for a little bit, Superman and Lois' season finale is today on Tuesday, day of recording, and Flash is tomorrow. Byron, the big news, the waves around is like Flash was saying that where they're going to get someone who you do not expect to show up in the series in the season finale. I'm saying it's Stargirl. I think that's the safe bet because
that is a safe bet.
But there have been people who really think it is Oliver Queen.
I mean, it would make sense if it was Oliver Queen, but I feel like that's expected, kind of, because he's had so much.
But he's dead.
That's what I'm saying. But isn't there like a comic that he's alive?
No, he
just sent us.
Yeah, he came back from the dead because they said they still needed the Spectre in like the future, but I don't know if they're gonna do that here because it would be wild.
Yeah,
it would be freaking crazy. I think it'd be crazy. I mean, I'm all for like a Jefferson Pierce again. I'm all for that, or like a Supergirl or Superman or any of that. But Oliver, that'd be a game changer.
Oliver would be a game changer. I feel like it has to be someone we haven't seen in a while, which, you know, Oliver would fit.
Batwoman?
Batwoman? Because they haven't really, outside of that beginning crossover of Flash, they haven't really integrated her into the Arrowverse like that.
And now they don't even get the chance to hashtag save Batwoman, save Legends.
What if it's Katie Lloyd's White Canary?
I would love that.
That would be good.
That would be good. But DC's going there. Those shows are going to be over. Then Stargirl season 3's already showed their picture, and then we're just waiting for these movies. We've got the Black Adam trailer. We got Black Adam coming. We're casually waiting for DC, but Marvel is taking over this next week. Thor's coming out. Byron, anything else, man, to look out for in this movie and anything else?
I did see right before we recorded that Bob Chapek, who is the CEO of Disney, got extended for 3 years. I mean, sure, you know, the guy who called Shang-Chi an experiment. Let's give him more money, but congratulations, Bob.
I hear you. Only thing I gotta say is look out for Thor Love and Thunder coming out next week. If you are watching it on Thursday, like the L7C, that would be July 7th. But if for anyone else, starts July 8th. Definitely be on the lookout for our review. I'm expecting some crazy shenanigans. This movie is actually not even that long compared to other Marvel movies. It's only 119 minutes.
Wow, that's very surprising with this day and age, because No Way Home was like a little over 2, and so was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was a little over 2, but it was shorter.
Yeah.
That's how I knew there wasn't going to be that many people in that one, because it was like it wasn't like close to the 2 hour, 30-minute mark or 3 hours.
Yeah.
But we're going to see, man. Everyone be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for our review. This is, again, shout out to Chris Hemsworth, man. Double-digit years of Thor. First Avenger to get 4 solo movies. And if you would have said that at Thor 2, you never would have believed it, but here we are.
I really thought Iron Man was going to get to 4 movies, like be the first to get to 4.
True. I did too. I mean, but then things changed. We didn't know how Infinity War and Endgame were going to be. I guess technically the legacy of Captain America will get to 4, but it just won't be Steve Rogers. He did the 3, and then Sam gets this one. So, but here, I mean, if Ironheart gets if they call it Iron Man Ironheart, that'd be a 4th.
True. Legacy go on too.
So we'll see on that. But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C Podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thor, Love and Thunder, coming out next week. It's going to be some heat. I'm trying to tell you guys, this is the 29th film in the MCU. The 29th, which means the culture Black Panther will get number 30.
Let's go.
With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C Podcast. You guys take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C Podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.